Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to AQ IT Solutions. This is Ali Raza and today I am going to tell you one of the most important topic, that is database migration or transfer of your database from your one location to another location. This is a problem that the students are facing when they are working on databases, and this problem might arise when the size of the database is huge and the database size is large enough in order to transfer from one place to another place. This problem gives you a lot of trouble when you have space limitations and all other issues. Okay, so in this lecture I am letting you know that how can you make the script of the database, or you can say you can convert your database into a file. That's it. So your database resides in a file that is known as .mdf file, and there is a log file as well. Most of the time the log file is so huge and the MDF file is also, so the database, let's say you are running a database for, let's say, for 1 year, and you have millions of data. So in order to move that data from one place to another place, it's a lengthier and time taking process. So script generation in MS-SQL Server is a very good way to reduce the size of your database for moving from one place to another place. So let's start and have a look how can we do that. Okay guys, so I have a new script here in front of me, and this is SQL Server 2016, and here I'm going to create a database first so that you can be able to see how things are going on. So create database, and I'm giving it a name example DB, and execute this by clicking on execute button or press F5. Okay, after creating the database you have to use this database, that is example DB, in order to execute the commands within this database. Now I wanted to, you can notice here the example DB is selected now. Now you can be easily working, you can be write queries within this database. So create table, and let me write here a name, let's say customers. Okay, and some records or some columns. So customer underscore ID, integer, not null, and then we have identity, and then it's a primary key, let's say, and that's it, primary key. Okay, now customer underscore name, that should be varchar, and 20, and then not null, and the customer address we have, that is varchar 50 or 100 you can take at max, and then customer underscore phone, that should be varchar 15, not more than that. You should be precise when you are creating or writing your database. So that's my one table. So I'll execute it, commands completed successfully. Now let us create a stored procedure in order to insert the record. So create procedure st underscore insert. The reason why I'm doing these different things, because when I generate the script I show you the variety how this script is going to be generated with respect to all the objects that you have created inside your MS-SQL Server. Okay, so insert into insert customer, let's say, and now the things that we need to insert is @name. The data type should be exact the same as you have created inside the table. Then address, these are the parameters or variables you can say. I'm expecting from you people that you might you have the prior knowledge of what SQL Server is and how to use SQL Server. So that's an advanced topic. So phone number, and then it should be varchar 15, 20, and then not null should not be here. Okay, so that was incorrect. Now it's fine. Now I have three things. I haven't take ID because ID is an identity column and we do not insert inside identity column. So insert into, and then the name of the table, that is customers in this case, and then we have values, and then we have @name respectively, then address, and then we have phone. So that's it. Select this query only and then execute. Commands completed successfully. Let us create a view also. So create view vi underscore get customers as select from customers C, and that's then alias C dot customer name as customer comma C dot phone. I only wanted to get these two details within my view, so that's my phone. So that's it. Let me close this one and this one so you can see the complete query. So this is my view, get customers. Execute this. First of all, execute this query in order to check whether the query is working or not. Yes, the query is working. Right now I don't have any data, so that's why there are no records. So execute this query. Execute, commands completed successfully. Now let us insert some data. So we have the stored procedure, that is st underscore insert customer. So you have to write here execute insert customers, and then you have to give here your name, that is, let's say Walid. Then we have the address, that should be Annan or not Nazmabad, let's say, and the phone number should be 0345-123-1231, and that's it. So let's execute this query and click on execute. You can see one row affected, and now when we call this view, let us select and all from vi underscore get customers. So that's my view. So let us execute, and you can see everything is working perfectly. So these are all the queries that I have just created, and you can increase this situation. Let's say you have 100 tables and every table has 50,000 records or more than 50,000 records. So increase this situation. Okay, you have done everything. Now it's time to take your database. So how can you take your database? There are several ways. The first way is to right click your database and go to the task and make it detach. Okay, when you click on this detach, what will happen? Let me show you. A wizard, a pop-up is appeared in front of you. Now click on OK. If you have admin rights and if you have complete rights, then this database will be detached successfully. Otherwise it will not detach. You have to restart your SQL server. So I think that I have to restart my SQL server, otherwise it will not detach it. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so you can see an error is appeared in front of me. So because the database is currently in use, so I have to put it to the master, and now let us come here and check whether it is detaching or not. This is one way of doing this. You can see the database successfully detached. Now what you have to do, you have to go to your C drive. Let me show you, and program files, and then Microsoft SQL Server, and then the last folder, and then the first folder, and then the data folder. It is a restricted folder. If you have admin rights, you can go inside this folder and you can see your example DB database along with this log file is here available. And now let's say if there is a huge database, then current size of this database is only 8 MB. If you see here at this particular point, 8,192. But if you have millions and thousands of records, then this might be a huge figure. Okay, then how can you take that? Right now just right click and then send to the USB drive, whatever pen drive you have, you can send it to that drive, or you can copy and paste simply, or you simply do that, or you can upload it to your drive. Okay, but if the database size is large, this approach is not good. Now let us attach the database again, because we have detached it. So where is my database? I have to click on the add button and select my database, that is my MDF file from that particular location from where I was, and then click OK, and then click OK. So you can see my example database is again in front of me. Now the main topic today that I am going to discuss is to generate the script. Go to the task and click on generate script. A wizard is appeared in front of us, and then you have to read this all. I have already read that, so I am going to click on next button. Now you can see it says you to please specify the options. Either you wanted to create the entire database script, or you wanted to create a script, or we wanted to create the script for the individual objects or the specific objects we have. Let's say I have 100 tables and I only wanted 50 tables from that 100 tables. So this option is good for me. Or I wanted to get only the tables script, or I wanted to get the views script. So you can see I have one table, I have one customer view, and I have one stored procedure. That's why I have created these three different things. Okay, so this might be 100 tables, this might be 100 views, this might be 5,000 stored procedures. There can be a big situation. Okay, so the next step that you have to do is select entire database. If you wish to create the entire database script, then click on the next button, and now it says to you that please specify the location of the script. So the location of the script should be, let us select desktop and give here a name my DB, let's say, and it will be the file with the extension .sql, and then click save. Now the next there are certain other steps as well. Either you wanted to make to publish this script to a web service, or you wanted to save to a specific location. So we are going to save to a specific location. Now let's say you have 5 tables inside your database, so you wanted to create individual script file for individual table, or you wanted to create one single file for all the objects that you have inside your database. So there is an option as well. So I wanted to create a single file, and if you wish to create a single file per object, then you can click on this object. Let's say you have 3 tables: customers and orders and the purchases. Okay, so 3 different files will be created with respect to the customers, orders and purchases. But if you click on the single file, then only one file will be created, and within that one file you have multiple options or multiple schema codes or the queries. Okay, let's go further. You have to save this code as a Unicode text or an ANSI text. So if you wish to send your code over the internet, this file, if you wish to send your file over internet, so prefer selecting this Unicode text, and if you are using it locally, then ANSI. So most of the time we select the default thing, that is the Unicode text. We don't need to change it. And then we have this advanced button. This is a very important button. Let us click on this, and here you can see there are hundreds of settings, and the setting that you are looking for is this one. So for which database you have to make the script. Okay, let's say you have here SQL Server 2016, but at your home or at your other workplace you have SQL Server 2014. Then what you will do? Okay, you cannot go backward. Backward compatibility is not available or is not supported in SQL. So you can come from a previous version to a latest version, but you can not go back from a latest version to a previous version. So if you have created a database on SQL Server 2016, then you cannot go back on SQL Server 2014. You cannot create that, you cannot execute this script on SQL Server 2014. So there is a version compatibility thing. So you can see how much backward you can go. These are the different versions of SQL, and if you have the required version listed here, let's say I wanted to create the script for SQL Server 2014, so you can select that. I hope it is clear to everyone. So version specific script can be generated with the help of SQL. Okay, so the next thing that I must tell you here is the type of data to script. Here there are requirements. Let's say if you only want data, or you want data plus the schema of the database and all the objects, or you only need the schema. So you can see the schema only. Schema means the structure of the database. That means every query of the object that you have written, every create, alter, drop, everything that you have done will be generated only. There is no data included in this option. But if you select data only data will be scripted. That means all the insert queries that you have entered inside your SQL, all the update queries, all the delete queries, whatever you have done within your database will be picked up. Most of the time insert is there because updations and deletions are not documented. Okay, so deletion is one time and permanent. So insertion queries you will get when you see the data only. And schema and data only, you can get both the schema of the objects, the tables, the views, the stored procedures, their queries, and their data, and the data that resides inside those tables will also be scripted. So these are the 2 things that you have to change here, and then click OK, and all set now. And you can see here these 2 options as well. Save to clipboard. That means you wanted to save it temporarily on a clipboard. That means when you copy something, it goes on the clipboard, something like that. If you wish to do that, you can select this option. But if you wanted to see your query or your script on a new query window rather than saving it on a hard drive file, so you can click on this as well. So I'm going to save this as a file, and now click next. So that's the summary, and then you can read this and then click next, and you can see it is generating my database script now. So you don't have to worry about how to move your data from one place to another place. That's it. The work has been done. Click finish, and let us go to the database and see to the desktop and see what is the file length. Where is my file? Okay, so my file is in my documents. I have saved in my documents. So you can see the size of the file only 9 KB. So 8 MBs of database is reduced to only 9 KB of file. So you can map it. Let's say if you have 150 GB of database, so it will reduce dramatically. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now you can easily upload this file on your drive, copy this file on your pen drive or USB drive, and that's it. Okay, now the thing, how can you call this script? Let me delete this database from here. So I'm going to delete this by right clicking and delete, and then click OK. Again there is a problem of it is not deleting because we are in the database is in progress. Okay, let us delete again. I have resetted my connection, I have disconnected it and I have connected it again. Let us check whether it is now deleting or not, because the database was currently in use. So let us just first delete it. No, it's not going to delete, it's still in progress. Let me check where. Okay, so let us close the existing connection if the database has, and then click OK. Let us see whether it deletes or not. Okay, it is deleted successfully. Now the next thing that we have to do is to import our script that we have generated. So what we have to do, we have to go on file and then open and then file, and select your file from the documents, that is the script, and click open. Let's say you come to your home or another place, and simple you have to do is to execute this script. That's it. But there are some situations, you can see there are some situations where this script might not execute. Okay, so for that I must tell you a shortcut. How can you do that? For in case if your database script will not execute at your home or some other place, what do? Simply select this line, that is the create database, and execute this. Okay, listen carefully please. Select this line only in case if the error occurs. Right now we haven't any error, no error is occurred. So if any error occurs when you run this script, then what you do, you simply select your database and execute it. Right after execution of the database, you remove all the code that belongs to the database till the use database. So you have to remove this code. Now you can see use database and then the table query and then the insert, the view query, the insert query. There are all the things that we have generated is written here by default. Okay, let us do it again. I have pressed Ctrl Z and you can see my all data code is appeared. You have to remove this code from above the example DB or use example DB line. So why I have done this? Because I have already created my database. So you have to remove this. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, and then you can execute your query. It will run inshallah, no problem. So I hope you have learned how to generate script from SQL Server in order to make your task easier in your daily routines and when you are working and when you are migrating your database from one place to another place. So that's all for today. If you haven't understand anything, please do write me in the comments, and do press the subscribe button and press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.